What's up, everybody? Weston here with the Hidden Gibbon, back with another daily deck tech video, and today we have ourselves another viewer request. We have Firelord Ozai. Now, some stipulations behind this were to make it be able to compete at bracket 3. I didn't include any game changers in here for budgetary reasons, but feel free to add them in where you see fit. And then they wanted the budget to be about $450, and today, using the Moxfield update to cheapest mode, we have $443.77. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. So who is Firelord Ozai? Besides being a giant jerk in Avatar: The Last Airbender, he is a card that is a 4/4 for 3 generic and 1 black. This is from the Jumpstart / Eternal Legal set for Avatar. And whenever Firelord Ozai attacks, you may sacrifice another creature. If you do, add an amount of red mana equal to the sacrificed creature's power until end of combat. You don't lose this mana as steps end. So, then we have, you can pay 6 generic, exile the top card of each opponent's library. Until end of turn, you may play one of those cards without paying its mana cost. So, essentially what you can do here is sacrifice some big chungus creatures to do kind of little Atali things, but a little less good. And it costs 6. So we're going to be doing some firebending today. We're going to be storing up some mana, and then we also are going to have some big creatures that we're going to sacrifice. And I'm pretty excited because I was able to fit one of my favorite cards from Edge of Eternities in here today. So without further ado, let's get straight into it, shall we? We are running 22 creatures. Yes, you heard that right, 22. We're going to have a pretty fair mix of utility, mana, and then big beef. And so let's get right into them, right? Avatar Roku, Firebender. This might be a little tricky to cast because he is triple red, but we should be able to do it. And he has 6/6 for 6. Whenever a player attacks, that's any player, add 6 red mana until end of combat. You don't lose this mana as steps end. We have other cards in the deck to allow us to keep this mana regardless. So this is pretty good in that you will get to keep this. And then he has Super Fire Breathing, where you can pay 3 red mana to give him +3/+0 until end of turn. Or sorry, target creature. We have Ball Lightning, Trample, Haste, and at the beginning of the end step, sacrifice this creature. So you're going to play this thing for triple red. You're going to attack with Ozai and you're going to sacrifice it to get yourself 6 red mana, and then immediately, what do you call it? You play something off the top of somebody's library. We have Birgi and Electra in here to help keep our mana. Birgi is whenever you cast a spell, you add a red mana. Till end of turn, you don't lose this mana as steps and phases end. And then Electra, which is you don't lose unspent red mana as steps end and phases end. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you add a red mana. And then you can, when it leaves the battlefield for any reason, you pay X to deal X damage to any target. We have Little Atali in here, so that way we can do a little bit more theft. You can also sack it if you really need to. We have Hunted Bone Brute. It has Menace. It's a 6/2 for 3, and when it enters, target opponent creates 2 1/1 white dog creature tokens. And when Hunted Bone Brute dies, each opponent loses 3 life. You can also disguise it, which, for the life of me, I cannot remember what that ability does. I think it's somewhat like Morph. But you'll have to let me know in the comments down below. I didn't really buy anything from Murders at Karloff Manor. But this is another sack outlet. Same with Hunted Horror here. 7/7 for 2, trample, and when it enters the battlefield, target opponent creates 2 3/3 green centaur creature tokens with protection from black. We have Calaxion, Hunger Tyrant. It's a legendary crocodile for 3 with no abilities from Aether Drift. This big old gator that you're going to sack for 7 mana. We have Lightning Skelemental. It's a 6/1 for 1 black and double red. Trample, Haste, and when it deals combat damage to a player, that player discards 2 cards. At the beginning of your end step, sacrifice Lightning Skelemental. We have Madame Null, Power Broker. Now, she's a very interesting card, and I've thought about making a deck around her for a deck, but you'll have to let me know. She's a 1/3 for 3 with Death Touch, and whenever another creature you control enters, you may pay life equal to its power. If you do, put that many 1/1 counters on it. So you're going to chunk yourself in the face, Yes, that does happen. But you're going to essentially double the power on one of these creatures. So you can both beat with them, like Atali here. You can make it, a 12/12. Or you can get that to add even more red mana and do the thing twice. We have Malignus, which is a star for 5, and its power and toughness are each equal to half the highest life total among your opponents rounded up. If you get this out here early, somebody could still be at 40, and you could attack with Firelord Ozai, sacrificing this to get 20 mana, which is really strong. Morbid Opportunist, whenever one or more other creatures die, draw a card. This ability triggers only once each turn. Oh my god, I can't ever pronounce this right. Nelfshni, which is a 4/6/4/6 flying, and whenever you cast a spell from exile, copy it. You may choose new targets. If it's a permanent spell, copy it. It gains haste and sacrifice at the beginning of the next end step. So when you steal opponent's things, you can cast some more stuff. We have Ozai the Phoenix King. He's a 7/7/4/6, and he has Trample, Firebending 4, and Haste. And if you lose unspent mana, that mana becomes red instead and just sits in your mana pool. And Ozai has Flying and Indestructible as long as you have 6 or more unspent mana. We have Phyrexian Soulgorger, which is a 8/8 for 3 with cumulative upkeep, sacrifice a creature. You're not going to use the cumulative upkeep on this. You're going to go ahead and bring in the beats with your Firelord Ozai and sacrifice this for 8 mana. We have Prosper, Tomebound, which has Death Touch, and Mystic Arcanum. At the beginning of your end step, exile the top card of your library. Until end of turn, you may play that card. So that's pretty good right there in and of itself. You can play one of these dumbass creatures right here, or a million other things. And then Pact Boon. Whenever you play a card from exile, create a treasure token. So this is pretty good, right? Because you're going to be exiling your opponent's stuff with your commander or Atali, and you're going to be exiling your own stuff with Prosper, getting you some treasures for value. We have Rotting Regisaur, which is a 7/6 for 3. At the beginning of your upkeep, discard a card. Again, send this thing to the afterlife immediately. You don't want to reap the downsides of it. We have Shakedown Heavy. It's a 6/4 for 3 menace, and whenever it attacks, defending player may have you draw a card. If they do, untap Shakedown Heavy and remove it from combat. We have the Beast Deathless Prince. It's a 6/6 for 4. Whenever you cast a spell, gain control of another creature, of target creature until end of turn. Untap it, it gains menace and haste until end of turn, and the beast enters the battlefield tapped with 6 stun counters on it. And whenever a creature deals combat damage to its owner, untap the beast and draw a card. So what's really interesting about this is, yeah, you can use that to speed up getting the counters off of the beast, but instead, what I would do is, say somebody puts down something really annoying, like, I don't know, Aurelia. And you know that Aurelia is going to beat you. You play the beast, you take the person's Aurelia, and then you attack with your Ozai and you sack their Aurelia. Pretty fun times right there. We have Zoo Ifrit, Osteoharmonist. Now, this is the card I was talking about from Edge of Eternities. This is one of my favorites, so much so that I made my own Zoo Ifrit commander deck. But Zoo Ifrit is a 2/3 for 3, and you can tap to return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. It's a skeleton in addition to its other types and has no abilities. Activate only as a sorcery. So that takes away the downside of things like Phyrexian Soulgorger, Rotting Regisaur, Ball Lightning doesn't get sacrificed, the Hunting Horror, etc. So if you need to, you can bring these things back to beat face, or you can just keep bringing them back as skeletons who you're just going to send right back to the graveyard. We got Ragavan, Nimble Pilferer in here. You know what it does. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, create a treasure token, exile the top card of that player's library, and until end of turn, you may cast that card. You can also dash it from your hand, which is put it in. It has haste. At the end of your turn, it returns to your hand. We have Zuko, Exiled Prince, Firebending 3, and then you can pay 3 to exile the top card of your library, and you can play that card this turn. This is something to note with how much stuff that we're exiling from the top of our libraries. Do not play a land in main phase 1 unless you absolutely need to once you have things online, because if you exile a land, you want to be able to play a land and not just send it to the void. We have our sorceries here. We have Active Treason, you know, steal somebody's creature until end of turn and then sacrifice it. Same with Vengeful Possession. We have Feed the Storm, which kills a creature or enchantment and you lose life equal to the mana. Night's Whisper, you draw 2 cards, lose 2 life. Sign in Blood, target player draws 2 cards and loses 2 life. Day of the Black Sun. Each creature with mana value X or less loses all abilities until end of turn. Destroy those creatures. Blasphemous Act needs no introduction. Desperate Plea is here. As an additional cost to cast a spell, sacrifice a creature. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield if its power is less than or equal to the sacrifice creature's power. This is a way to get back some of your utility, like your Zuifit, etc., or destroy a creature. And then we also have Sozin's Comet to give all of our stuff Firebending 5 until end of turn. Now this is very important. So like for your Phoenix King Ozai, he has Firebending 4. If you then also give him Firebending 5, he will have Firebending 4 and Firebending 5. That is how it works, so you'll get 9 red mana. We have Bedevil, destroy target artifact, creature, or planeswalker. Big score, discard a card, draw 2 cards, create a treasure. Blood for the Blood God, another one of my favorite cards of all time. Costs 1 less to cast for each creature that died this turn. Discard your hand, draw 8 cards. Blood for the Blood God deals 8 damage to each opponent, and exile Blood for the Blood God. I like how it has it with exclamation points. You gotta kind of yell it. We have Bolt Bend in here. It costs 3 less to cast. If you control a creature with power 4 or greater, which should be pretty easy, you can change the target of target spell or ability with a single target. Bulk Up, double target creature's power until end of turn. You can flash back. Burnt Offering. You can sacrifice a creature and add its converted mana value in black and red mana to your mana pool. Chaos Warp's in here. Cabal Ritual, help you power out some of your stuff faster. Deadly Dispute, sacrifice an artifact or creature, draw 2, create a treasure. Fire Nation attacks, create 2/2/2 red soldier tokens with Firebending 1. You can also flash that back for 9 if you want to waste 9 mana. There are better things to do with that 9 mana. Heartless Act, destroy a creature with no counters or remove up to 3 counters from a target creature. Not dead after all, so if something dies, it comes back. Saw in half, make 2 things with half their power and toughness. Seething Song for mana. Terminate for removal. Last Agni Kai, target creature you control fights target creature an opponent controls. If the creature the opponent controls is dealt excess damage, add that much red mana. Till end of turn, you don't lose unspent red mana as steps and phases end. Undying Malice is like Not Dead After All. The creature gains when it dies, return it to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control with a 1/1 counter on it. Unexpected Windfall, discard a card, draw 2, create 2 treasure tokens. Unleash Fury, double the target power of target creature until end of turn. So do this to like your Phyrexian Rager or whatever and get 16 mana. Withering Torment also destroys an enchantment or creature and you lose 2 life. As for our artifacts, we have Arcane Signet in here and Soul Ring for mana, as well as the Soul Stone. Now, I put the Soul Stone in here for the exact same reason that I put Zuifit in here, to give us a Reanimator package to keep sacrificing things. That way we wouldn't have to bloat our deck with like 30 really garbage creatures. Instead, we can rely on a few garbage creatures and just keep bringing them back. The Soul Stone is also really difficult to remove unless somebody is going to exile it. We have Horizon Stone, which costs 5. If you lose unspent mana, that mana becomes colorless instead. We have Lantern of Insight in here. Each player plays with the top card of his or her library revealed. And then you can sacrifice it to have target player shuffle his or her library. Skull Clamp in here. Since we're going to be sacrificing our creatures, may as well draw some cards off of it. We have ourselves Trailblazer's Boots for non-basic land walk to protect Ozai. Swiftfoot Boots also, and Whisper Silk Cloak to give him Shroud to also help protect him. We have Urbrass Forge. Since we're just going to be making big tokens anyway, may as well sack them to the Abyss for mana. Enchantments, Black Market. Whenever a creature dies, put a charge counter on it, and then you get black mana during your main phase 1, equal to charge counters. We have Fire Nation Occupation. When this enchantment enters, create a 2/2 red soldier creature token with Firebending 1. Whenever you cast a spell during an opponent's turn, create a 2/2 red soldier creature token with Firebending 1. We have Kaya's Ghost Form. Enchant a creature or planeswalker you control. This also works, by the way, if you active treason somebody's thing, and then you put Kaya's Ghost Form on it, and then you sacrifice it, it comes back on your side of the battlefield. There you go. Obsessive Pursuit. When it enters in at the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 1 life and you create a clue token. And whenever you attack, put X 1/1 counters on target attacking creature, where X is the number of permanents you sacrifice this turn. If X is 3 or greater, that creature gains lifelink till end of turn. For lands, nothing super fancy. We do have Fire Nation Palace in here. Susser, Secundi Void Altar is an absolute house. More people should be playing it. This card being $8 is criminally underrated. Although, I guess don't go buy it because I just keep buying every one of them that I see because it is just that good. Rogue's Passage is also in here. And then Maze of Ith, so that way you can attack with your Ozai, getting the trigger, and then Maze of Ith it out of combat, so that way you don't die, or it doesn't die. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. This one was a little bit fun to do. As always, if you have a commander that you want to have made into a deck tech, drop it in the comments down below. I'll be getting to a lot of those probably later next week because starting on Thursday, my wife and I are going to go visit her family in Michigan until Sunday, so we'll be out of town, but let me know what you think in the comments down below. As always, I'm Weston with The Hidden Given, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. What's up,